So did you guys see the YouTube video that I posted on Twitter the other day?
No, I did not. What is it? What is it?
Dan, I think you did, right?
Yeah, I saw it just earlier.
Hold on a second. Let me put it in the chat room here.
Man, I
watch it again.
Fucking hate new Skype. I fucking hate new Skype. Have I said this? Because I fucking hate new Skype. It's like, you have a message. Let's play Find the Message.
Yeah.
Can you just show me? No, find it.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Wait till you see him.
What? Oh my god.
Just wish he'd put his tongue away.
What?
What is this? Oh man!
19 people took it seriously and disliked it.
Oh god! He literally made his own like kazoo-ukulele. It's like a ukulele
awesome.
with a kazoo and a little keyboard on it, and he's playing the final countdown.
That shit is awesome. Oh, he's singing.
Yeah. He gets into it too.
Oh yeah, he's getting laid. All the hot chicks. Oh yeah. You can see it. I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he ruined it.
He's pretty badass, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking awesome.
Look at these comments. Some people have called this gentleman a virgin, but I disagree. No woman is worthy of this badassery. Love that shit.
Oh god! Did you see that one comment that says it does not sound like we're heading for penis?
Obviously, I had to carry his balls around in a wheelbarrow in front of him.
Draw your sword, knock your arrows, and ready your spellbook. It's time for another episode of The Gamesmen. What role will you play?
Greetings, guys, gals, and guildies. Welcome to episode 75 of The Gamesmen. This is the show for the week of May the 28th, 2012. I am Steve Conger, also known as JSS Lyfeliek, on basically every gaming service imaginable. And I got a few friends with me here for this episode, as I normally do. And first up, Mr. Scott McGregor, Rabid Scotsman.
Hey.
How are you, sir?
Good.
What's new?
Still hunting monsters. Is that new?
No, it's not.
That's about it.
I bet you if there were two words used together the most on this show, it would be monsters and some form of the word hunt. Probably.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, actually. I wonder if we can poll that, like if we can just feed the show through something that'll just tell us.
Maybe, I don't know.
What words are used the most?
I don't want to leave it to Google Translate because when they transcribe some of these voicemails pretty poorly.
Oh man, they are home for barbecue into next generation.
And also old reliable Daniel Knappman, Mr. Hardlydan.
Nope.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Cold?
No, I'm kind of
my God.
a little bit drunk, so I'm not feeling it.
It's funny, now that you're not cold, hell's freezing over.
Yeah.
And in the guest chair for this evening, one half of the Two Brothers, Two Mics podcast and lover of smiley face with a semicolon, Mr. Brandon Poole, a.k.a. Casino 31. How are you, sir?
What's going on, brethren? How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Man, I feel great, man. Finally, Finally, Casino has came to the games, man.
I've been trying to get you on here for like a month.
I know, man. I don't know what's been going on, man. Just bad timing. But
Yeah.
I'm here now. I'm here now. Feeling good, looking good,
And loving semicolon smiley faces more than ever.
Loving semicolon smiley faces on Twitter, yes.
Maybe you should sort of elaborate on that for those that don't know.
Oh, yeah. A few shows ago on our podcast, I asked my co-host, LB, he's not with us. Well, no, he's not dead, but he's just not on the show. Sorry about that.
Your pet has departed.
Yeah. And so I posed a question to my brother, LB. I was like, bruh, is it weird for a man to send another man a winking smiley face? And so we got into this long debate over this shit, right? So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse.
No, you can. That's fun.
Oh, okay, word. So we got into a long debate over this, and yeah. So I got that one time on Twitter, and I was like, what does that mean? So I posed the question, and I was getting feedback, and Lyfeliek over here, this motherfucker kept sending me like a whole 140 characters of winking smiley faces. Like after I posted the show, I'm like, okay, he's trying to be funny right now. But it's all love, man. It was funny. Good times.
Yeah, you don't expose a chink in your armor like that, I don't think.
No, Oh, man.
So being that you're the guest, what's going on in the life of Casino right now?
Oh, man, sitting there, basically pimping a lot of hoes, basically. No, I'm just joking.
Wow.
No, I'm just joking. No, seriously, just working, man. Working, been catching up on some Netflix. I've been Netflixing a lot,
What are you watching on there?
Right now, I am on White Collar, the TV show White Collar.
I don't even know that I know what the premise of that is, I don't think.
Basically, it's this dude that went to jail, and he's like this expert at stealing like expensive art and shit like that, and he's like a forger, and he got caught up.
Is it any good?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
he's telling us about it if it sucks. I mean, no.
No. I mean, it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. So basically, he escapes jail. The dude that got him in jail caught him again, did a deal with the dude, and now he's working for the FBI to help him in other investigations. Because he's a con, so he thinks like a con.
It's kind of like a less bloody Dexter.
Yes, times 100 less bloody.
It depends on what you call art, I guess, because
That's true.
That is art to Dexter, right?
Yeah, exactly, because blood splatter is a form of art.
Is there anybody in that show, like, of any note that, that, like, mainstream-wise?
Probably not.
I wonder. Because I've heard of it, but I just never, I don't know, it was just never on my radar, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I've been getting into it a little bit. And I finished up Luther. That's a pretty good show.
Is that the UK one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
I enjoyed Luther very much, so.
What's the premise of that?
It's a real fucked up cop.
Yeah.
And he's like, he solves mysteries.
So you're all into this procedural drama, huh?
As of recently, yes. And I've been catching up on a lot of anime, too. So.
Aha. For me, like, I've been kind of doing, I mean, obviously, since I took the home theater PC down there, all I do is, like, stream stuff on the web,
Yeah.
And I have been catching up because I didn't realize that it started already, the second season of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
And holy shit, is it great! My goodness, I can't even get over it. Like, the whole first season is on Netflix, and it's awesome. There's like 26 episodes. And I'm watching the second season, and by like the second or third episode, they're already bringing in obscure characters like fucking Rocket Raccoon, and now Beta Ray Bill's been in there, and all. It is that cartoon kicks ass.
Nice.
It has to be like the best Marvel cartoon ever in history. It is great. And then I was sad to hear Awake got canceled.
Awake.
Oh, yeah, that game that you were kickstarting, right?
No,
the TV
no, the
series.
TV show.
Jason. You should actually take a moment to say hello to Jason Isaacs.
Yeah. It's
You
sad.
know how much I watch TV. Jeez.
Oh, it's such a good show, and I think there's only like 1 or 2 episodes left. And I love where it's at now. But obviously, it's not going to go any further. I don't think. But it's kind of sad. I don't know.
So that's on Netflix stream?
No, that's actually on Hulu. Awake is. I think probably they'll get to episode 13, and that'll probably be it. But I'd like to see somebody else pick it up. I just don't think that they will. I don't know. NBC isn't. They normally have a pretty good death grip on their properties.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anything else going on with you or what?
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of PS3
Yeah, I finally turned my PS3 on the other night for the first time in God knows how long. Can't believe
I can't remember the last time I turned my 360 on.
I know, I haven't turned mine on either. Maybe
To actually clean it. Actually clean it. I had a lot of dust on it.
Oh, Scott, what's going on with you?
Not a whole lot new, I guess. Actually, what was it? Saturday night, we just randomly decided, hey, let's go visit Acid B. So that's what we did. We hopped in the car and we drove for 2 hours and showed up on his doorstep at like 3 a.m.
So what is it? He about 100 miles from you or what?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm not actually sure. And if you want me to calculate it, it probably wouldn't work.
It's just a ballpark figure.
You got to go through, like Denver and
okay.
some major cities and shit to get there. So, but man, it's great. He's got himself a nice place up there. He bought a house up there.
Yeah.
And it's nice. And he's finally got around to decorating it, which is also pretty darn good. He's done a good job, there. It's not really his forte, but it's good.
Sweet.
He did good. So, yeah, we hung out there and we actually played Monster Hunter. I brought my Wii up there. Yeah. I actually packed up my Wii in a laptop case. And I just brought it up there and we plugged it into his TV and his other flat screen, and we rolled it up next to his TV in his living room, and we sat there and played Monster Hunter online. It was a lot of fun.
Man,
had a lot of fun. And then we went and got some burgers and stuff and barbecued.
Man,
yeah, it was good.
So you were up there all weekend or what?
All of Sunday. I mean, like I said, we showed up real early, I guess, on Sunday, real late on Saturday night, and basically just passed out and then woke up and so.
And I would sort of be remiss if I didn't say that you sound 100 times better.
What?
Because of your headphones.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about? Thanks, bro. You're starting to creep me out, man.
Have I been ill?
No, yeah. My headphones did come back. They came back. They overnighted it to me, I guess, after we raised a stink, because we were like, no, no, and they are bad.
They sound a lot better. What were you using before?
A webcam mic.
That would be why.
From a $20 Logitech, which is, I mean, great for the price, but yeah, not exactly ideal for what we do. So, so far so good. Like when I got the box, I kind of remembered why I chose that product. There were a couple of gamers whose name that I trust that went ahead and put their team's name on the product, and it's got a lot of great features, and it's comfortable and it's lightweight, and so I'm hoping it's going to last this time. I'm hoping it was just some kind of fluke, some kind of fuck up from my own end here, and I don't know. I guess I'll let you guys know in 6 months if they're still running.
If you still got both of your cups. And
then one other thing was I finally saw Sherlock Holmes, the movie.
Nice.
Oh, with Downey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one, and I was real worried that they were gonna just butcher Sherlock Holmes, because I was real into Holmes when I was a kid and stuff. I used to know his books by heart, and he's great, and they really captured his character extremely well. Like, he had a little bit of a different kind of twist in terms of his humor with it, I guess, but all in all, like, they captured the characters pretty well. They captured the kinds of cases that he took in. They captured that well, and the characters and all that. So I really ended up enjoying it. I liked all of it. So
it's kind of funny. A few years ago, a lot of people would have said, "Man, that Downey, he's fucked up."
I know, man. He turned his shit around, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, now he's like the actor of an era.
He can't,
Great.
He can't do any wrong, man, in my opinion, right now. He can't do any wrong. Anything this dude puts out, I'm like a big Robert Downey Jr. fan.
Yeah.
I kind of always have been, but but as of lately, I guess me being rather partial to Iron Man and shit like that. So.
Iron Man.
Well, he's personified.
I was so pumped when they announced that they were going to do an Iron Man movie. I was like, no way, really? Because he's like my favorite hero from that side of the pond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The non-X-Men,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's great. So yeah. And then when it was down, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is he going to be drunk through the whole thing, or is this going to be good?
I was thinking the same thing too.
Well, I mean, the thing is, that would have been perfect if he was Tony Stark. I mean, he could have just drank and womanized, and everything would have been great. But now he does a he does a bang up job as Tony Stark. I mean, he's actually redefined the role, I think.
Yeah,
but
most definitely.
Yeah. So Dan, how about you? What's going on?
Not a huge amount, really. Loving this headset. I don't know. Did I have it on the last show?
I don't think you did.
No, yeah. My Logitech G930 headset finally turned up from my mate Sam. This thing is awesome. It's really good. The build quality is second to none. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm listening to music again that I haven't listened to for ages and can start picking out bits that I hadn't heard with previous speakers or headsets. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the 5.1, the 7.1 surround sound, whilst it isn't as good as a proper surround sound system, does add a bit of depth to the kind of audio of games if you've got it set up right. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
the artificial 7.1 for a lot of this generation's headsets have been really good.
Yes, it's like some kind of magic.
Yeah. There's magic in my earphones. Yeah,
it's just like two speakers. So. And it's just, it's fantastic. I was playing StarCraft the other day, and suddenly it sounded like there was a guy in my sitting room saying, "I can't do that." I was like, "What fucking?" Looking around to see this guy in my room. I was like, "Oh no, I'm here."
The next generation of Logitech headphones, complete with 200% more magic.
Yeah, if you've got the cash for it, or you can get a cheap pair, they're absolutely fantastic. How long they'll last, that remains to be seen.
Hard to tell, huh?
Yeah, but there's no wire for me to accidentally tread on and then stand up and rip out of the socket, so which is kind of what killed my last set, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, my phone's still not back, so that's a bit of a pain.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I sent it back to my provider, and they said it's not covered by warranty. It's going to be £75 to replace the screen, which I guess isn't too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, that includes, not overnight delivery, but registered post. And
yeah, good enough.
Yeah, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than replacing the whole phone.
Yeah.
It probably cost a bit more because I think there's a bit of blood in there. I cut my finger on the screen just before I sent it back. I was like, I'll make sure I wipe everything.
Oh, God. It's actually a dummy corporation. They're going to be cloning you.
That's cool, because I could do with a new liver.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. You keep on the cider. You can be sure of that. Well, as far as me, Lisa and I went to the zoo on Sunday, the Pittsburgh Zoo.
Nice.
And, had a pretty good time, and I was semi-excited about that. I wanted to go to Kennywood. I would have rather went to the amusement park because they got a couple new rides this year, but I don't think that they're all open yet. I think not until after Memorial Day coming up are they all open. But, man, we went down there, and don't you know, we went down on a day that was like 85, 90 degrees, and it was so hot that the animals were just lethargic, man. They just crawled back in their hole and just lay under there and stuff, So we didn't get to see too much, and then we made the mistake of walking in the monkey house. Like they have like the whole
It had to reek.
Oh, I can deal with it with the smell and stuff. Man, I felt like I was between like a nutsack and a hard place, man. Like it was so steamy and nasty in there.
Like a monkey porno in there, or what?
Maybe. I was sweating so bad I could have melted Cheerios in my pits, man. It was awful. It was awful. I'm telling you, when you come outside and 85 degrees feels cool, you know you were in some shit.
Yeah.
But it was a good time, and I think it's like $14 to get in per person now, and a lot of the displays and exhibits, a lot of the animals they've moved, like they moved the zebras over to Ogleby Park, which is maybe about a half an hour, 45 minutes away from here to the west. So they've lost a lot of stuff, but I don't know. It just kind of doesn't hold the appeal that it did to me when I was younger. But we did go into the elephant, sort of the elephant care building, and there were a couple of elephants in there, like a mother and a baby, and we just sat there and watched them for like 20 minutes. I mean, it's just so amazing, It just blew my mind how different those animals are from like everything else, and how they have a trunk that acts like a hand. Like it's almost like their trunk has an opposable thumb.
Yeah.
It's wild. I mean, yeah, we just sat there and watched that for a while, and it was a good time, but it pissed me off because I think we were the only people there that weren't pushing a stroller or riding a hover round. I think,
the only way to go to the zoo now, right?
I know. And the worst part is all those people think you should just get out of their way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. I got just as much right to be walking here as you do. But yeah, we did that. And then we came home and we're kind of trying to get caught up on episodes of The Killing, which, by the way, if you're not watching The Killing, what the hell is wrong with you? Man. Another AMC show, and it continues the tradition of AMC quality. So, if you get a chance, if you haven't seen it, that's a hell of a show to watch. But
there's the Norwegian original as well, which I think it's Norwegian.
Yeah, I think it is
Scandinavian original, which is also well worth checking out. That's some slight differences in the show. That's excellent. If you can put up with subtitles.
Yeah, I don't know if I could, but I do know that the Killing is pretty good, pretty sweet. And then,
I gotta check that out because I'm a big AMC fan, man. I love Walking Dead. I can't get enough of that. I love Mad Men. I'm a big Mad Men fan.
Yeah.
If you had told me, 3-4 years ago that AMC was going to be the one leading the charge when it comes to quality shows, I would have said, what?
I know.
AMC or ABC? No, wait. You must have said that wrong. What?
Yeah, they do it, man.
Yeah, they really do.
And then we wrap that night up with a little bit of game playing, but I think we can sort of get to that
these days.
Yeah, we don't want to know about that.
Playing Pokemon.
Playing Pokemon.
But we can talk about that in a moment. Mr. Casino, you are the guest, so you are up first. What are you playing?
I am playing Mass Effect 3, sir.
And how many hours? What's the hour mark you're at?
I think I'm really not that far because I don't think I'm really that far, but it says I'm like on like my 15th hour. But a lot of stuff like I like to just walk around.
Yeah.
I like to walk around and shit, and I like to talk to random people, because that's cool as well as everything else. Yeah, I don't know these. I think I'm over 10 hours, though, definitely.
I want to say I finished it with 40, maybe? Dan, does that sound right?
Yeah, it's about right, 35 to 40 hours.
35 to 40, okay. Yeah.
I did a lot of eavesdropping listening to all the people talking.
Yeah, see, exactly. Then, and that's what I'm currently doing. I just got to the part to where I defeated the Geth, and I saved my Geth partner in crime.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Am I anywhere near the end or not really?
I reckon you're about 2/3.
2/3 in. Okay.
Yeah.
Good progress. I'm loving
Maybe
it, man.
half.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends which way you've gone round about it. It's kind of hard to tell, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, man, I'm having a great time with it, man. It's got a lot of lesbian asaris and shit. I love that.
God.
Well, so what stands out to you the most on the positive side?
Probably the lesbian asaris. I'm just
the lesbian asari love interests. They're becoming very linked. Like they're like, it seems like all the people. It seems like a lot of gay people in the game now. It's like a lot of gay characters.
I think there's a lot of pressure from both sides for that to include it, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you walk a pretty fine line when you do that, because you don't. I mean, you want to include it, but the thing is at the same time, there is a point where it gets to be gratuitous.
Right, and I don't know, because I haven't played the entire game, but it's like you want to include that because you want to make it as real as you possibly can, because there are gay people, so why not have gay characters, right?
Yeah,
I think they did it quite well.
Yeah, okay, well that's what's up. But what struck me the most in a positive way, I would say, is the story. I have not played the multiplayer as of yet. I haven't heard anything good or bad about it, to be honest with you. But I'm loving the story. I'm loving the characters. I'm like emotionally invested in these motherfuckers.
Little BioWare, man.
I'm really concerned what's going to happen. I was upset that my homeboy Alien went up to that tower and died and shit for me.
Yeah.
That kind of pissed me off, because he was one of my favorite characters from Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of that sort of interpersonal, tug at your heartstrings sort of thing. Like Scott said, the BioWare is so good at, and I think that to me was like the saving grace of Dragon Age 2, was that the characters and the interactions were just so believably charming.
I want to play Dragon Age 2. Is it any good?
I think you should. I mean, there's a lot of criticisms, but for the most part, I think it really gets the narrative right.
Okay.
Some of the sort of pluggable, like the plugged in components of the rest of the game are somewhat questionable, but at the core of the game, it's all about story, and they really nail the story.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
what they do, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, even back in their text days, like when they were doing Neverwinter Nights and stuff, they just did it well. They just did it really, really well.
Yeah, they have some pretty talented writers, I think, and obviously now with EA name power behind them, they can bring the people in, that are worth.
They can ruin them slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you have the money. It's about the money.
But you know what though? Like when I think back on Dragon Age 2, and I don't mean to get off of Mass Effect 3, but when I thought back over Dragon Age 2, I really liked it in the beginning, and then in retrospect, it started to sort of wear on me a little bit, and I really saw it for its flaws. But then even after that, then I started to think of it more favorably, because I remember having a really fun experience with it, despite the little problems it had.
Interesting.
Really liked it.
With the big-bootied, gold-plated, blood-splattered women everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also.
Speaking of
Crimson Chesticles.
Good transition. You've done this before.
Yeah.
You've been on our show. That's what that is.
Yes, I have. I've been on the Gamesmen before, but you've never heard me. The chicks. I have not smashed any chicks yet. I'm like waiting. I'm trying to decide which one to hit. I don't know if I want to hit the chick that tells me I got email messages, or the Asari chick, or Tally, or I don't know. Which one should I hit?
Are you playing as a male or female, Shepard?
I'm playing as a male. I should have played as a female, so it would have been a lesbian thing, but I didn't.
You might have a bit of a trouble with the chick that tells you about your messages. I give up on her.
Well, you know what? I was playing it like a Mac with her. Like, she came up to the captain's
to the casino quarters.
Yeah, to the casino's quarters. And, when we were playing a game of chess, and she over there on the other side, and I'm over there looking at her and shit, and I'm like, yeah, bitch, come on. But I played it cool. I played it cool, and she was like, hey, and invite me back up anytime. So I'm trying to get some brownie points in right now.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
It's not going to... It might happen, Dan. Come on, man. You got to be a little bit optimistic.
You got your lumps in the wrong place there, man.
So she's not going to let me hit it, huh?
No.
Wait a minute. How do y'all know? How do y'all know this so well? See, y'all went into the pussy too quick. That's what happened.
She's one of the gay characters.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's gonna convince her to play for the other team again. That's what
Well, it won't be the first time Casino send that shit.
Tear apart the disk code, rescript the actual game.
That shit, and reprogram that shit,
recompile, burn,
and then send an email to Bioware and say, "Beat that motherfucker."
Yeah. I fixed your game, bitch.
Exactly. And what? And what, son?
I put Pokemon in
it. I have to say that, I haven't played Mass Effect 3 yet, but I did play 1 and 2, and I went with Tally.
I did too on the second one.
Yeah, she's adorable. I don't know.
She is.
I thought she was like a very deep character, and that there's a lot to get to know there. And so, I was like, okay, all right. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Awkward.
She had the girl next door vibe going a little bit.
I got like a platonic start from her, I guess. You know what I mean? You like shared common. I don't know. It was neat. I ended up liking her. So, I think the one that they try to lean you towards is Ashley.
In the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning, yeah. And so I never really chose at the end of Mass Effect 1. So when I started Mass Effect 2, Ashley's picture is on my desk, and I'm like, what? Get that off of there. I don't know. They can use her.
Hey, why would I want some human ass when I can get some blue ass?
Or why do I have a picture of a space racist on my desk? You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like for me, it was Miranda in the second one, and so when that little stupid quest came up,
go.
Yeah, about Miranda. And I've said this before on the show. The option came up that said "Shut up and kiss me," and and that was it. Bang.
The tattooing came in, I believe.
Yeah.
I tried to hit Jax, the bald head chick in the second one. I tried to get up in that, but. See, but this was after I had had relations with Tally, and she wasn't
having it.
Yeah, she wasn't having it. I was like, come on, I'm being look, this is my shit. You gonna abide by the rules.
Well, let me ask you this: one criticism of Mass Effect 3.
I don't like running and holding the gun up. Like, the shit, like that right there kind of annoys me a little bit.
He never puts it away.
Yeah, he never puts the gun away. It's not, I don't like that. He's like talking with, and like, I'm like.
Waving his gun around.
Like, dude, don't your arms get tired.
I know.
Yeah. Your arms got to get tired after a while.
Well, he is. He kind of looks like a mobile turret at some points.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the animation and I love the graphics on it, but, I felt like they could have made it a little bit more realistic as far as that. And is there another criticism? I don't really have any criticism, man. I love it, man.
Yeah.
The weapon used to fold up, and he'd like put it on his back, right?
It used to be.
Yeah.
No.
Aw,
No.
that was neat.
I don't know if that's a limitation or what, but all right. So, playing anything else, sir, or no?
Nope, not playing anything else.
Well, at least you're playing something good.
Yeah.
Technically, until you get to the end. Supposedly, if you listen to everybody else, but
I haven't. I've been hearing the negativity. I don't know what goes on in the end, but wait.
Try to bust through it. I mean, you've actually survived this long without hearing it, so I think you're pretty safe. But I tried to bang my way through it just to get it done, so I didn't have to have it spoiled for me. But yeah. So Dan, how about you?
Well, Torchlight II beta. Been playing that a bit. Path of Exile, of course. Loving that. Actually, we had a good little session the other night, didn't we? So that was fun. Yeah, with DJ Leroy.
Yeah, and who else? Was Ambrose jump in on that one? Or no, maybe...
Yeah.
Because I know we played with Common Troll, too.
I wasn't there for that one.
Actually, I think I played with Troll on the Torchlight, in the Torchlight beta, him and Zeiram Wing, and which we'll talk about a little bit later, but yeah, man, dungeon crawly, yum.
Yeah, and I've been getting back into StarCraft 2 a bit, been playing that. Had a good night the other night, actually, with Bobby Ironhammer's Gooding.
Oh, yeah?
And Common Troll, yeah, he's back up, he's got his rig sorted out, he's got mics and everything, so hopefully might be a new show coming out soon. I don't know when, though. We're probably going to have to change the days and stuff, because he's moved now.
Ah, okay. I was wondering, he sort of fell off the face of the earth a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's hard to move your stuff from one place to another when you haven't got a means of transport or a driver's license.
Well, this is true.
So it's taken him time to get it all set up, but yeah, he's back, so that's cool.
I thought maybe he just didn't like me, because I finally make it back to the PC, and he's nowhere to be found.
He's been playing a load of 360 stuff recently.
It figures.
That doesn't seem right.
I know.
And I found this cool little game. I've had this kind of itch to play Populous. Was it Bullfrog?
Yeah,
title?
I think so.
And,
Ancient, that's what it is.
Yeah. I didn't really want to have to mess around with DOSBox. I got a hold of an old copy of Populous 2, and it was all right. And then on my Twitter feed, someone sent a link to Major Nelson. He said, play this game, think of Populous. And it's called Reprisal. It's free to play. There's no download or anything. You could probably even play it on tablet or Android phone or something. It is Populous too. It's fantastic and it's free.
What is it without the Suka Tsunama?
Yeah, it doesn't have that, but it's really good. I've been using it to fill in time whilst I've been waiting for something to download, or got 10 minutes to kill. Have a quick go on that. Absolutely fantastic, and you can get that if you go to reprisaluniverse.com/site/play Reprisal. Fantastic game.
Huh. I
say fantastic. The graphics aren't great. The music isn't that good, but it's enjoyable and it's free. Well worth a try. I think that's about it. Oh no, I dusted off my 360. I've been playing some Trials. Some more Trials.
The original or Evolution?
No, the Evolution. That game is so good.
I'm hearing they're making some pretty decent, little modded tracks and stuff.
I haven't checked out any of them yet. I've just been busy playing. There's one track there. It took me so long to get gold on it, because you've got to basically not fault on the entire map to get gold. And it took me, from start to finish, it takes about 7-8 minutes.
Okay.
That's a lot of riding. Not to screw up. I had no idea how many hours it took me to do it, but no one's beaten me on my friends list. Man. I've got the fastest time for that by like 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm pretty.
So is that a lot of wiping and restarting, I guess, then, huh?
Yeah, a hell of a lot. And I'd get really good at one part and forget about how to do the next bit, and then keep getting further and further and further until I finally cracked it. But yeah, fantastic game, great lighting, fantastic physics, couple of little niggles. When you go through water, it seems like they've altered the gravity. Okay. So whenever you go through a big puddle or something, it just feels like the bike becomes lighter. rather than it's getting slowed down by
drags
the water
or something. Yeah.
I was going to say, you sure it's not hydroplaning?
Well, yeah, it does do that, but it just doesn't feel quite right.
Okay.
And quite often you'll come out of the water and your bike will lift up for no apparent reason when you're back on the land, and your tail will come up.
Hauling ass so hard when you came out of it.
Yeah.
Like rocket out the other end.
Well, yeah, but you'd expect the front end to come up there, not the back.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it, I think. Just plenty of PC and trials.
Yeah. It's been weird. Of all the platforms that I own, my PC and my Wii have been getting the most love. It's sort of insane. It's like some kind of alternate universe. But
welcome to my life, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm Rabid Scotsman. Speaking of, what's up? How about you?
Well, yeah, just like you said, I am kind of shocked that I'm back on my Wii, but then again, I'm kind of not, because it's Monster Hunter. I was working on Project Monster Hunter for so long.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You should probably update everyone about Project Monster Hunter sort of being dead in the water.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Project Monster Hunter is not going to happen. Yeah. It's just impossible. Currently, at least. It depends on where Capcom decides to take their servers once the online stuff starts to die down.
Yeah.
If they start to do like a host type thing where you host your own guild tavern and then your friends can join if they have your Wii code or whatever, right?
Yeah.
If they switch it to something like that, then an HD PC online version would be doable. But for the moment, only single player is doable. And when you get right down to it, the meat of that game eventually is the multiplayer. I mean, that's where that game goes to. Don't get me wrong, the single player is fun and it has its place. It's got the farm, which is great. It's got the fishing boats, which is great, and the trading and all that really cool stuff that you can't do in multiplayer. There's objects that you can't get in the multiplayer as well that you can only get by playing through the single player. And it's a great experience, but it's a great experience as a whole.
Yeah.
With the multiplayer intact. So unfortunately, that is an impossible dream at the moment.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to try it out, on the PC, what would the steps? Are they a pain in the ass to do? Or?
It can be, I guess. How do I say this?
You have to acquire a copy.
You have to acquire a copy. And it's like, for me, that I had no issue with that. I own the game. I've played 500 hours in it. I've paid my dues, and it was just another venue to try and play it in. So, if you've got your own copy and it's something that you'd like to try doing, I can get you in touch with how to do that. So, if you just want to tweet at me or hop in the TeamSpeak, I can help you out with that if it's something you're looking to try. It is very, very CPU intensive. Your video card isn't going to be doing much work at all. Like, it pretty much doesn't matter what video card. It's going to be very CPU intensive, though. You have to at least have a dual core, and you probably want to be running something that's at least 3.3 gigs per core.
Yeah.
It's pretty intensive. If you can do 4, great. But with 3.3 gigs, you can get 720p, which still looks amazing. I mean, with 16x anti-aliasing and just full blown everything. And it looks good. It feels good. It was a lot of fun while it lasted. But that got me jonesing to go back and play the Wii version, of course. So me and Acid B have been playing that. I started a new online character so that I could just kind of catch up to his lower level one, and we could go from there. We did our first urgent quest, the Baroth, which is just a hell. Oh God. Yeah. They really throw you into the fire. They're like, all right, so all that stuff that you just did, that's child's play. You better learn how to play, because you're screwed.
What hunter's rank are you guys now?
We're 9.
Okay. I think I'm 11 or 12 or something like that. So
okay, we'll have to work on getting up to you there. Well, my original's like 56 or something.
Well, yeah, but that's
ridiculous. But yeah, so obviously I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter, and then on PC I'm still playing Terra, actually.
Now, let me ask you this: have you tried Terra with a 360 controller since you got the dongle?
Yes, I have.
And What's the verdict?
If you haven't started your character by playing with it, you're going to be lost.
Oh, really?
It took me a little while to get used to, because you have to arrange your buttons and stuff differently. Like, which slot which skill is in.
Okay.
And I was used to the way that they were arranged currently, so it was actually harder for me to play the game when I switched to the controller. But if you start a character with a controller, it feels good. It's really responsive, and all the buttons seem to be in pretty good places. Plus, you can change everything about it. Like, you've got like your right trigger and Y, X, A, B, and something else, and the D-pad too, which I think is static. But the buttons and the right trigger, and then if you hold down left bumper, it changes all of those.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like a toggle switch
modified.
or something.
Yeah, and then the right bumper is the other modifier, and it covers your entire skill bar, like two full bars of the number 1 through equals.
See, and that's something when I think about the way that works. That, to me, the way that Diablo 3 has been pared down and sort of lowest common denominated, there's no doubt in my mind that game's coming to console.
I guess. I don't know.
There's no doubt in my mind.
I mean, they kept saying they want to do that with StarCraft too.
Yeah. I guarantee that's going to be a big E3 announcement, probably. But
yeah, controller or keyboard, it's pretty enjoyable.
And still good. What level are you now?
Oh, geez, I hit 50 today.
Okay. What's the cap?
60.
60. Okay.
It's like a long grind, but it's an enjoyable grind. We're on a PvP server, so that happens sometimes. A guy will just walk up to you and his name will turn red, and you're like, "Oh, okay, this is happening." So I mean, and the PvP is pretty damn engaging because it's like live action stuff. It's not just like click on target, mash buttons until target dead.
Yeah.
You actually have to like dodge out of the way if you don't want to get hit by his attacks, or you actually have to hold down your block button if you want to block his attack, and vice versa. So that's been fun.
So it's a little more tactile than just your average run of the mill.
Yeah, exactly. And I just kind of needed a change, so this is kind of fitting that. And I've been playing it basically in between bouts of Monster Hunter. Yeah. So.
Oh God. Well, as far as myself, Dan, we're going to click over here in a minute or two about talk about all the dungeon crawling goodness that we've had a chance to experience recently. But like I said, when we went to the zoo after we watched some TV shows that night, I actually got Lisa to sit down with me and play through The Walking Dead, the video game, episode 1.
That's it. Hell's frozen over.
I know.
Done. You may as well just insert credits. Come on, let's go.
I really enjoyed my time with the Walking Dead game. It's fantastic. It has little to do with the TV show, even though you do get to run across Glenn and Herschel. And, Excalibur talked about it on the last show, and man, he was right. I just happened to go to GameStop and I bought a code for $20 for the season pass on the PlayStation 3.
Did you say he was right?
Yeah, he was right.
That's it. Hell's frozen over. Insert the credits. We're done.
It's fantastic. It's good. And you know what's funny? By the time that we finished it, and we finished it in probably about 2.5 hours or so, she had a fantastic time too. She actually enjoyed it. Like, I think she got a little bored in the middle where it got a little slow. But, retrospectively at the end, she had a good time. And, she's a wife and she has a ring on her finger, so I figured I'd let her make all the decisions because she's used to, wanting to do that.
Oh, no.
And I would just play the game. It worked out perfect. I said, no, I could, that ain't going to happen. So I got to say whatever I want until she hears me. But
she's standing behind me right now, isn't she?
I know.
That's what I was going to say right there.
Really? You couldn't tell me? Yeah, she made all the dialogue choices and the decisions and everything, who to side with, who to save, who to, do all the stuff. And
to murder.
I'm telling you, it's pretty neat. And cel-shaded, I don't think we see too much cel-shaded content anymore.
Yeah, it's just Borderlands.
Yeah, and I mean, but it was kind of refreshing. But you know what the cool thing that they did, that Telltale did with The Walking Dead, the video game, because it is, apparently they had the property before the show got popular. They had the actual comic book property. And they made it look more like the comic book. But the cool thing is, like, the way everything's cel-shaded, if you would look at sort of like a front-side profile of the characters, along the seams on the shoulders, and let's see if I can explain this right to where you understand it, sticking up out of the top of the shoulder would be a flat plane that goes the length of around and down the arm. And that flat plane just stuck out just a little bit, and it had sort of an alpha channel transparency map on there that just made it look like they were all like somebody sketched them, like it looked like sketch lines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like the visual style, even though it's not super serious, the visual style is actually really, really smart. Like when you look at something from the right angle, it literally looks like the characters are just sketched on screen.
Is it scary?
There's a couple of points where you kind of get nervous. I don't know if it's, the tension's there.
Drama. Heavy rain with zombies, I think is.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's a lot of fun because you're actually going through this point and click adventure, and that's, I mean, when you distill it down, it is a point and click adventure, but you get to control where your character walks.
Yeah.
So it adds like an extra half a dimension to the game in that fashion. But you just never know. Like, you have that uneasy feeling because you already know the established world from the TV shows and maybe from the comic books and stuff like that. And you just never know when something's just kind of going to pop out or something's going to happen, or and it's really cool. The interactions are interesting. The voice talent is it's all well done recorded material. And man, you could do a hell of a lot worse for $5. Let me tell you. And if you buy the season pass like I did, it's like 2.5 hours worth of content for $3.75 or something, or $4. It's like a no-brainer. And I was kind of nervous about it because of the sheer massive amount of games and stuff that's out there to play now. But
yeah, a couple hours isn't too bad though, huh?
Well, and the thing is, it's the perfect sort of palate cleansing game because it's something that her and I get to sit there, and now she's invested. Yeah. And now it's something that every few weeks when they sort of, gerbily drip feed you content, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Get on the whale, you're not getting any. Come on.
I know. Then it's something like, hey, Walking Dead's here, and oh, okay, cool. Then let's let's have some dinner, and then let's play some Walking Dead. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait.
Right.
But yeah, that's about it for me. There hasn't been too much besides dungeon crawling, and actually, if you guys will hold on the call right now, Dan and I need to click over, and we shall be right back. So we clicked over, and hopefully the other call, hopefully they hang around while we take this little call waiting time, Daniel. We're going to do a little exercise in dungeon crawler superiority. So, Dan's still here. Dan, hi.
Yep, hi.
And we got somebody here that called in that you haven't heard in a long time because he's sort of been in the gaming sort of gamesman basement, I guess. And so calling in from the dungeon is Zeiram Wing.
Howdy, fella.
What's up, man?
Not much. Just doing the real life thing.
Getting all caught up. So,
yeah.
Man, Dan.
Yeah.
I guess it's only fair to sort of start with the indie sort of scene, which I don't even know if I consider it that, but so, Path of Exile, the positives to you. I mean, where does this game shine above the other two that we're going to talk about?
Well, first of all, it's got to be price point.
Well, yeah.
It's free. Well, at least it will be. It's a fantastic game. At no point at all does it look like an indie game. It's so polished and everything just feels spot on with it. It's really hard to kind of say anything bad about it. It's fantastic. Oh, the level system. That's my favorite thing about it, I think.
Yeah.
That skill tree. There's something like 750 nodes. So you can pretty much customize the character to exactly how you want to play it.
I saw that skill tree. Like, they have a thing on their website where you can actually go and, plot out your the little interactive thing. And the second I loaded it up, I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, the first time you see it, it can be a bit overwhelming, can't it? But it's not as confusing as the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I love overwhelming and intimidating. I like that. Oh, so good. And that's the one thing that I've kind of missed from the other two that are, I guess all of these are relatively sharing the same release window.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that bugs me. This happens a lot genre-wise.
Definitely.
I don't know why. I don't get it.
It seems to happen with movies as well. It's like everyone seems to have the same idea at the same time.
Yeah.
It seems a lot with PC games, a lot. Like, everybody's just like, oh, well, let's just bring out all these.
Yeah, we haven't done a dungeon crawler for a while.
Well, Path of Exile, to me, I think where it shines is, like you said, I think the sort of skill tree and the kind of materia system, like the way in order to equip the skills, you have to have those gems equipped. And
the way that you can upgrade those active skills is pretty damn cool.
Yeah. And I think, like, that's another thing that they do so well is sort of that compulsion loop. Like, you're completely compelled to come back and back and back because your character levels, then 2 of your skill gems level.
Yeah.
Then you level, and you have this, like, constant feedback of, oh, carrot, 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 carrot. It's so good.
Like almost no stick.
Yeah.
The other great things I like about it are the ethical payments they're talking about. So there's no kind of pay to win mentality behind the cash system.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Pay to win. You might hear a little bit more about that later. Take those, kids.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So that is something, and it's kind of hard for me to be not slightly judgmental, but I mean, I guess that's kind of what we're doing here. We're throwing them under a microscope. The game ain't even out yet.
Exactly.
Okay. And I kind of wish that I knew what the final model was going to be. Like, I wish I knew, and this is one of the things that I'm going to talk about in Diablo 3, is I wish I knew that there was going to be a nice selection of skins for me to make my character look different than yours.
Yeah, as instead of just the things you pick up, because obviously they do change.
Well, I mean, and plus,
how you look, but
I mean, I could make a witch, a female witch, but let's say I want to have a male one, and I make this character, and it still look like a woman, but I give it a man's name, and there's never a man's skin to.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's relatively stupid in the grand scheme of things, but I kind of want to see the final product. But I mean, either way, I mean, I've already spent $15 on it to buy into the beta. I mean, I actually didn't even really need to, but I wanted to support it because I think it's a really, really cool project by guys who were big, huge fans of Diablo 2.
Yeah.
So, but Jeremy, you and I got a chance, and Dan to some extent, but not at the same time, to play a little Torchlight 2 beta.
Woo! I was so glad. Like, I seriously thought I wasn't going to get in. I was like, come on, I've had an account since the day you could sign up for a Runic game account. Really? Really? But then I finally got that. Yes.
I guess I was really lucky with mine.
I know. You didn't even really use it, did you?
Yeah, I've been playing it.
All right. Never mind that.
No, he didn't get 6 characters up to 21.
No.
Like some people. So, all right. So, Jeremy, sell me on it. Sell people. I mean, you don't have to sell me because I'm already there. But
well, it's Torchlight. It's the second one. There, you're done. Sold. Now, seriously, it's okay. The biggest complaint everybody was like when Torchlight came out. Everybody's like, "Oh, this game's so good. If only it had multiplayer." Oh, yes, this would be perfect if it only had multiplayer. Guess what? They listened. It has multiplayer.
Yeah, it's 8-player co-op, isn't it?
Yeah, and like it really shows like when you play Torchlight 2, you can tell everything that everybody's been sort of complaining about the first one. They really actually looked at. Like one thing everybody was all like weird about was the fishing. A lot of people didn't like the fishing because you could get good stuff by fishing, but a lot of people found it tedious. So now they added dynamite in the item thing, so you can just dynamite the hole and get whatever out of it, you know. And one of the greatest things to me is that I thought in Torchlight 1 the greatest idea was having that pet take all your items back to town for you and sell them for you and come back so that you never have to leave the dungeon. You just keep smashing faces. Now, not only will he go and sell your crap, but he'll also pick up simple items like health potions and like town portal scrolls and stuff like that and bring them back to you. So you really don't have to go back to town unless you absolutely have to now. Genius.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I do notice as I'm playing Diablo 3, I miss that.
And another thing about it is how they refined the sort of, this game, unlike a certain other game, you have stat allocations and things like that for your character.
Yeah.
And they refined your 4 stats so that no matter what class you're playing, you can't really screw things because everything's important to every class. I mean, putting something into, vitality if you're a sorcerer or something is still going to help you. The way they did it was really, really intelligent, I think. Because now they added things like execute, stuff like that, where if you're using two-handed, you have a chance to attack with both hands at the same time for massive damage, I guess you could say. And they tack that onto a stat. I think it's like your dexterity or one of them. And so now, normally for a class you want to just pump in the power. I think it's intelligence or something like or one of those other ones. So normally if you're playing like a berserker, you just want to. Your instinct is, just pump it into power and vitality a little bit. Don't worry about dexterity and other thing. But now if you pump it into, like the intelligence sort of stat, it ups this execute chance. Now you're like, barbarian, dual wielding. Maybe I'll put a one there so that I have a higher chance of doing that execute attack now. And every class is like a multi-class almost. It's kind of nifty. And some classes are sort of like their own thing, like engineer. It's just like, I don't even know. It's awesome. I don't know how. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, the first thing that was instantly apparent to me was the actual like traversal movement speed over Diablo 3. I mean, it is way faster.
I mean, yeah, you're just flying in that game. And like Berserker, whenever you go into like your frenzy state, you go even faster. You're just flying around, smashing things. Now,
it seems to me that 3 is the sweet spot. 3 players. And there was even a lot going on screen with 3 players.
Well, what the game's made around up to 6 players.
Mm-hmm.
But the Runica has already said the dev tools will allow whoever's making a mod to increase it to whatever the heck they want. So if they want to make a Torchlight MMO...
Oh my god. Oh god, we're going to have is it going to be Soulforged Neverwinter Nights, craftable natural resources and stuff?
You never know.
Oh my god. Dan, any thoughts on the Torchlight 2 beta?
I was really, really pleased with it. It's such an improvement over the first game. I'm looking forward to looking at the mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, everything is better, pretty much.
And it starts off at $20.
Well, and $15 if you buy a 4-pack.
Oh, yeah. If you can find somebody to go in with you.
Yeah, I think we got 3. I'm waiting for a 4th.
Some of the downsides of the game, personally, from what I've been reading, they got rid of the retirement system, an heirloom system, which I loved because it gave even more replayability to the game. Normally in the first game, when you finish the character, when you beat the game completely, this new NPC will appear in town, and you can go up and talk to him, and you could choose to retire your character. That character you could no longer play as, but then whenever you started a new character using that same save file, they would have an inherent sort of stat increase from the get-go, and you can pass down one heirloom item, which would add your name to the item. It'd be like, Lyfeliek's blade of smashy things. And, and it would become even stronger. It'd be as if it was enchanted. So now, it'd do even more damage and have even more cool stats stacked to it. And lower its requirements. Now, you normally would need level 50. Now, you only need level 30. And you just keep doing that. You can keep heirlooming these items until you can use it at like level 1 and you can just like smash everybody's face in. And it was, it gave like a lot more replayability because you wanted to keep beating the game just so that you could pass down another item, pass down this item. But apparently now there's like a new game plus sort of feature instead of that. Which,
okay.
And another thing is they're making it so that if somebody has mods, it'll automatically download those mods so that you can play with them and have all that. See, the whole time, Running always said they're making an MMO. And these games are just sort of the bridge the gap to that MMO. And one thing that happened with Torchlight 1, a lot of people jumped on, started making mods. Then they go and announce Torchlight 2, and a lot of people were like, why make mods for Torchlight 1 now when Torchlight 2 is coming out? So, like, the mod community just had this big spike and then just dropped off. And hopefully they don't announce anything, at least for a while, where we can actually get some. Because people are even working on, like, multiplayer for Torchlight 1, and then, like, oh, Torchlight 2, and it's multiplayer, and they're like, well, we don't need to do this anymore. So hopefully they at least, not announce a Torchlight 3, like, a couple months after, so that we can actually get some decent mods.
Well, the one thing that I did notice was that despite the actual, pretty high production values for $20, not a lot of voice acting, not the hours and hours and hours of the sort of 1,500-pound gorilla that is Diablo 3.
And let me attack it. One more thing. Runic Games, most of the people that work there are people who originally were at Blizzard North who made Diablo 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that should be said.
And the Blizzard that made Diablo 3, not the same.
Yeah, at least not many, huh?
Yeah.
Left.
Just throwing that in there.
Now, Dan, did you play the Diablo 3 beta?
No,
didn't get a chance.
I didn't get a chance to play that. Haven't had a chance to play the full game.
So, like I said, Diablo 3, super high production value. Also, I'm getting friend requests like crazy. So, that even people that don't play games a lot are going to be playing this. That's another positive for it. A third is it's gorgeous. Okay, maybe it's not Diablo gorgeous, but it's pretty good looking for what it is. The trees sort of look like a watercolor painting, and the actual aesthetic stylings are beautiful. The game's polished. Like I said, plenty of voice acting. It's great CG cutscenes in between the acts and at the beginning. I just finished Act 1.
Always had great CG, though. Like, you can still come back and watch those and be like, wow, that's amazing.
I know. It is very good, though, and I will say I've had a lot of good games with a bunch of good people, and still, at its core, it's a really good dungeon crawler. Obviously, I don't know that it is the gold standard or the watermark, but it's pretty competent, man. I gotta say, and I enjoy it a lot for what it is.
You don't sound so confident and so...
Well, that damn pet ruined me. The pet ruined me. I can't come back from the pet. I want a pet.
They're supposed to be adding them sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But
I like how they had the beta and all the things people liked. They're like, oh, we're taking this out of the final game because it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. You're supposed to be working on this game for 9 freaking years. How is it not ready yet?
I know.
Bullshit. You're just taking it out so that you can sell it back to people later.
And see, that's another thing was, we had a tweet in from Firewalk, and Firewalk wanted us to talk a little bit about how bad the launch of Diablo 3 was. And I expected more from a company that has the number one MMO on the market.
Yeah, and the number one RTS.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, too.
Yeah, I was going to join in, but I was pouring a drink. Sorry. Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't understand how a company with that much experience in the online realm does not have servers ready or has problems at launch, especially, like you said, after 9 supposed years of development.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, yeah, a lot of these games that are released nowadays are, for all intents and purposes, normally the first 24 to 48 hours kind of unplayable because a lot of these companies are skimping on servers and bandwidth until they see what the demand is. And I mean, I guess I can't blame them, but when I spend $60 on a game, I kind of want to play it.
Yeah, Torchlight II has offline.
Yes, I noticed that. That is another thing. That Diablo has the always online, constant, persistent online DRM. The thing that really got me with Torchlight was I saw single player and LAN, and it gives you a server list like back in the good years of first-person shooters.
Yes, I'll join the Torchlight 2 bandwagon. I have problems with Diablo. First off, everybody's like, wow, this game's gorgeous and stuff. And, oh, hey, looky, it's pretty. It's like, honestly, when I look at it, I'm like, this looks a lot like Titan's Quest. Like, has nobody else played Titan's Quest but me? What the hell? Like, yeah, okay, so the grass moves around when you're walking on a Torchlight, or Titan's Quest did that years ago. Like, ooh, physics, whenever you're smashing somebody. There it was again.
Well, I mean, I think it looks a hell of a lot better than Titan Quest did.
I don't know, Titan looked pretty freaking awesome.
It did. It looked great for the time. But this game, and to some extent, this game is supposed to be scalable, too. So I guess, if you're running it on a pretty decent beefy machine, it looks pretty good.
Things, though, too. Like, I've heard people with 9800 GTs that can only get 14 frames per second.
That's not good. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. The only gripes that I've heard have been, obviously, like the Error 37 on, I guess, launch night and the next day. And there's been another code recently that people haven't been able to stay online. Like, we were just playing with Yoda the Third a little bit ago, and every 5, 6, 7 minutes he got kicked and had to come back.
Did you hear, I don't know, the news about people's accounts getting hacked?
Even with the authenticator, yeah, I did hear that.
The authenticator, and it gives this fake sort of you're being disconnected when actually you're not.
Yeah.
And somehow they're able to hack your account and get in and like drain your money. Like, there's an actual reporter for like some gaming site that actually watched as their bank was drained right in front of them. There was nothing they could do.
Yeah, that's pretty crappy.
And they didn't really give a very glowing review of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. What's the final verdict? I mean, there's a ton of great dungeon crawlers out there.
Diablo 3's, though, they got rid of the stat allocation and stuff like that.
That's probably another thing that needs to be said.
And you're not going to skirt around this. What about the whole paid auction? And because now there's no stat allocation, it's all equipment based, and now you'll be able to buy the equipment with real money. Pay to win, anybody?
Yeah.
Pay to win, Diablo 3 ladders, anybody?
I can tell you right now that ladders and stuff I don't even really care about, but I will probably only play this game with friends, just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, they seemed like hell-bent to try and just monetize every aspect of the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I kind of can't blame them after Diablo 2, but because it did get kind of out of hand. But I don't know, and that's another thing, is that I wish that I could take the pet from Torchlight, the sort of game of Diablo 3, and yeah, the skill tree and all that stuff from Path of Exile, like mash them all up into like this super great like dungeon crawly RPG. My
and
God.
The ethics of Path of Exile.
Yeah, definitely not the ethics of Diablo. So, I mean, what's the final verdict, gentlemen?
I'm totally going for Torchlight. Like, see, Path of Exile does intrigue me because of its crazy depth, and even though on first glance that skill tree just scares the piss out of you, after looking around through it, I was like, this does look kind of neat. And, free to play, we'll see how that starts turning. Like, a lot of people are jumping on the whole free to play thing, and it's like, like sometimes it's a hit. Like, I think Lord of the Rings Online is a hit for how they have their whole pay method and everything. And I mean, you can play that game without ever sinking $1 into it, like me. Or, they usually have pretty reasonably priced items, though. And it's nothing that'll, pay to win for the most part.
Well, I mean, I think that's what I'm hoping, but
Yeah.
I think each of these have a distinct reason why you should probably be playing them. Obviously, I think, like we said, Diablo is going to be played by the most mass amount of people.
That's not really a good thing, though.
Well, I know, I get
I
that.
would
But
say, if anybody ever played WoW, go ahead and get pissed off at me. I think World of Warcraft and Blizzard games in general anymore have the worst community ever. They seriously, like, every single person on there just wants to either just sling just stupid internet memes at you or just wants to be a jerk, just to be a jerk.
Sounds a bit like the League of Legends community.
Yeah, that. Yeah. And, like, Xbox Live. It's like Xbox Live and League of Legends community round off the one. It's horrible, just a cesspool. It's like it went from being like, oh, this is the greatest MMO to like the freaking ghetto. Like,
don't mince your words.
Anyway, back on track. Torchlight 2 seems to be probably the most functional out of all of them. Like sort of a good middle ground and sort of at the right price.
yes.
Yeah, but I'm more excited about Path of Exile, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stop playing that game. It's so much fun.
Somebody who really knows the sort of genre, though, too. Like,
Yeah.
that is definitely one that if you've played Diablo 2, like, you're gonna love Path of Exile.
Yeah. It's
Or
really,
it's
really
like,
good.
sort of like, if you want to play and that's another thing. A lot of people are like, oh, hey, Diablo 3 with the auto leveling or auto skill allocation is a lot more suited for just bashing faces. Just have some fun. But my girlfriend played the Torchlight 2 beta, and she is the type of person, she wants to play a game the way she wants to play it.
Yeah.
And she's not really one for games like that have a lot of depth and are kind of hard. Like, she's more of a puzzly story, but she loved it. She had no problem putting stats. Like, I didn't tell her how to play the game at all, and she just leveled up a whole character in like a day. She was like playing for like, I had to literally pry her away from the computer because she was like,
you need to eat.
It was crazy.
Well, I don't know. I think that there's reasons to probably play all of these, but in my humble, I guess if you want to call it a humble, in my humble opinion, it seems like that, maybe if you're hardcore, you're going to skip Diablo. Whereas if you are new to dungeon crawlers, I think Diablo is probably a pretty good place to start and may sort of be a gateway drug to get you into something else.
See, I'm not so sure about that because Path of Exile is probably the first time I've really kind of plunged into a dungeon crawler.
Balls deep.
Yeah, and I just, I'm loving it. It's, I can't wait for the PvP and the new leagues and,
I think the general consensus here is Torchlight 2. And especially for the price, $20, you're not really out too much. If you got a PC that can run it, and it seems to be a little more hardware friendly than either of the other two.
Yeah, I mean, I can run Torchlight 2 on my crappy old rig, so most people probably can.
The exact same, like, engine and everything, so it'll run on the exact same computer that Torchlight run will. And they have already been saying, it's going to come out at $20, but most of their sales are probably going to come from Steam sales.
Yeah.
Like the Thanksgiving and holiday sales, like, is when they usually make a killing, and they love the Steam sales. And so they already sort of acknowledge that people are probably going to be paying $5 for the game.
Hey, $5 is fine when you're doing a digital model.
Yeah.
It's not too bad in a sale. So, all right, boys. Well, thank you very much. Good to hear your voice again, Mr. Zeiram Wing.
Oh, fresh.
So now I guess we'll chain you back up and talk to you soon. Put the tape back over your mouth. And
Please empty my bottle and my poop sock.
Dan, we better click back over to the other call.
Yeah, we better start pumping Final Countdown back into that room as well.
All right, guys, we're back. Thanks for holding on. We got a voicemail from one Indifference from GameEnthuse.com and the Game Enthuse podcast. So let's have a listen to that.
Hey, Steve and company. It's Aaron from Game Enthuse. I was calling just to ask a simple question and make a statement. Maybe two questions, I don't know. I just played the Torchlight II beta. I really like it. Not really into those kind of games. I had a good time with it. So my question is, Torchlight II or Diablo III? I'm hoping that somebody can, maybe there's a divide and somebody can take one, might take the other. Discussion. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. And apparently, G.I. Retribution was pushed into 2013, supposedly to add 3D. I think they're just scared of movies that are coming out around that time. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on 3D? And what would you like to see, what kind of conventions would you like to see added to RPGs in the next generation? I just know that one off the top of my head. So, that just about does it. Have a great show. I look forward to hearing it.
Alright, so he started off the call with Diablo 3 or Torchlight 2.
Now that's going to be seeded by some personal preference too, so keep that in mind. But Torchlight 2 seems like it would kind of ease you into the genre a little bit better, especially if you haven't played the previous Diablos or any other game of that type. Although Diablo 3 probably won't do you wrong either. They're kind of going for an appealing to the masses, shotgun type approach to the genre now. I think that in terms of price, you can't do better than Torchlight 2 though. I mean, you're paying a third of what Diablo 3 is, and I think you're getting at least the same amount of content from what I've seen so far. Again, that's kind of hearsay there because I haven't played much of Torchlight 2 or Diablo 3. I've only played a little bit of both. But that's what I think.
I kind of agree with you. I think that as much as Diablo 3 would be easier for, more easily accessible, I don't know. I think $20 is an easier pill to swallow if just in case you don't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I think that's where I'd go with it. I mean, I think you're going to play and you guys didn't hear the previous segment, but I think that if you want to play with a mass amount of your friends, Diablo 3 is going to be a hell of a lot more mainstream. But Torchlight 2, I think you might get more enjoyment out of, possibly, but.
Yeah, I guess that's the downside. Is even if you did want to play by yourself, apparently it's not something you can always do in Diablo 3.
Well, yeah. I mean, constantly online. Yeah. I mean, until if there's ever a patch, who knows?
Yeah, I think out of the two choices, I'd plump for Torchlight 2. Okay, I haven't experienced Diablo 3, but from what I've read and heard, I'm not so sure if I'm going to be picking it up. But the $20 I've already prepaid for it. Looking forward to playing it. The beta was great. It's a good game. Well worth the money.
Brandon, maybe you should check Torchlight and see if you can run that instead of Diablo.
Yeah, I was going to say this. I can't run Diablo 3 on this PC, so let me try the Torchlight 2 because the way you guys are talking about it sounds very appealing.
It's fun. It is a lot of fun, and I think if you go to Runic Games' site, I guess the beta's still running, correct, Dan?
Yeah.
So I think you can go there and sign up for an account with them, and then you have to elect to receive their electronic newsletter, and then they will pick you, I guess, over the course of a few days to get a beta key to get in to try it.
Yeah. If you're lucky, you'll get it in half an hour. If you're not, it might take a few days.
Yeah, like Dan did. It took me a day and a half.
Nice. And
so I mean, I think it's worth it.
What's the name of the website to go to?
The Torchlight site is torchlight2game.com, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's probably it.
I can't remember where you sign up. It doesn't seem like you're signing up for a beta at all. You've just got to make sure that you've ticked that box saying, send me your emails. Then check your spam folder.
Yeah, it's Torchlight, the number 2 game.com.
And there is a runicgames.com too that has it all listed there. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And don't forget to check out pathofexile.com. It's the same genre but free, and they definitely are doing a great job over there.
Yeah.
Doing a good job.
I can't wait for that. So, I want to see what Act 3 is all about.
Yeah, and it's $10 to buy in to the beta. So that gives them a little bit of capital to work with. Yep. So I'm almost positive they put a good chunk of money in up front, their own cash.
Yeah, they did.
To work on that. So, okay, so then he mentioned the G.I. Joe Retaliation movie being pushed back in order to implement 3D. Brandon, any thoughts or what?
Well, I understand but I'm not really too happy about it. I was really looking forward to seeing Jet because I mean I love the first one, but I guess I understand. They're trying to make some money. They're trying to make some money, and I guess maybe with 3D. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, do they get more money? Is it more appealing to the masses with 3D nowadays? Seems that way.
No, box offices have been actually doing worse off with 3D versions of movies than the 2D counterpart.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why they're doing that then.
I guess 'cause people go see it twice, or normally going to go see it would go see it in 3D. I mean, I don't really know. They've got to be making enough on it, I guess. If they're
you know what, it beats from people getting illegal copies. So it's like, ooh, let's watch it in 3D.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can see why they're doing it.
Oh, but I mean, when you think about it, the time that it's taking to, to push the movie back and to implement the 3D, I mean, on the loans and the capital money that you have to pay back on your interest and everything else, are you really gonna make that much more money?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Depends on the flick, I think.
I guess I wouldn't think G.I. Joe, because I mean I saw the first one, it was all right, it was kind of cool, but I mean it's not like it's an Avatar, or it's not like it's an Avengers, or something like that.
Yeah, well, I've got to say I did see some random horror thriller flick in 3D, and that was actually more enjoyable, I think, in 3D, because you didn't know when something's going to pop out at you. You know what I mean?
What was it, a Final Destination? or something
that was
like
it. It was Final Destination 3.
Yeah.
They had this part where this pointy something or another comes right out, and it looks like it's just about to hit you in the eye.
That's all it's good for, pointy stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So I think they probably just ought to stick to that medium, I guess.
Stuff.
I don't know. Fleshy stuff. Oh, what is it? Mushroom tattoos and shit. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't used my 3D television too much. I mean, we watched all of the the separate superhero movies, at least the ones that were in 3D leading up to Avengers before we went to see them, or to see the movie.
Monster Hunter in 3D. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
I know.
Go ahead.
And my buddy gave me a Blu-ray, a 3D Blu-ray of the History Channel, The Universe in 3D, which was kind of cool.
Okay.
But aside from, I think Sonic Generations on the PC was the last thing that I've actually, played in 3D. I wish there was more content out there, but there isn't. I don't know if maybe if it's starting to fall by the wayside or what.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they can't get it right. If they can't get it perfect with
gimmicky.
3D, it comes off a little gimmicky. When does the 4D come out? That's what I want to know. Is it even possible?
Time travel.
I think 4K resolution's going to be the next big thing before 4D.
Okay.
Yeah. But I got into a nice little conversation with Stuart Gilray on Twitter, who is one of the ones that's working on the HD Oddworld games.
Oh.
And there's an update coming to the PSN version that's out there now that's adding 3D and adding a few different things like move support and things like that. And hearing their passion, I heard them on the PlayStation Blogcast, and hearing the passion in their voices, I think I'm going to pick that game up. I mean, the Oddworld ones were ones that slipped through the cracks for me for some reason. But hearing the passion behind that, behind the interview, I think it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to pick up, and I think I will enjoy it in 3D because, like I said, there's not much out there.
I don't know, man. You got to be careful,
So-
man. I remember when a little company called Splash Damage tried to sell me on a little game called Brink.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Sounded
But
like the perfect first-person shooter. Oh God, what is this crap?
oh, it burns. But, I don't know, but I mean, the Oddworld games were always, semi-proven, and these are just sort of HD upgrades, for the original game.
Yeah,
So I think I should be okay. But nice to hear actual passion behind some voices, and we had a discussion about, good and poor implementation of 3D in games, like, ghosting and things like that, and a really great guy. So, you should follow him on Twitter. It's Stewart, Stewart, Gilray, Gilray. So, awesome. All right, and he finishes up with man, what RPG conventions would you like to see integrated into the next generation of consoles RPG games? Dan, anything?
So I was just still thinking about the 3D, actually.
Don't put that in there, that's for sure. Don't.
I already know your feeling on 3D.
Yeah, it sucks. And one thing I will say is retrofitting 3D is never as good as filming it in mind of having it as 3D in the first place.
Yeah.
It's just, and there's the light loss, the headaches. 3D sucks.
Yeah.
It's not so bad at home because you can turn up the brightness, but you can't do that in the cinema. Yeah, conventions I don't know. It's a tough one. I can't think of anything at the moment. I am stumped.
I think for me, I don't know. I think a lot about, and obviously, like, everything in my life right now is sort of tinted by Xenoblade.
Oh.
And I love the fact...
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is. I mean, but then there's an awful big shadow for everything to sort of fall under, too, But I think a lot about how I love the way that it's a really nice blend between, like, menu-driven and action combat. I love that.
Like Final Fantasy X, that's what that was for me. And I think they tried to make that more of a reality in 12. I think that's kind of been the direction they're trying to go with JRPGs for a while now. So, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, and I think we've hit a limitation, too, of unique equipment appearance.
Yeah.
Because of RAM limitations, you end up with a lot of palette swapping and things like that.
Well, not
like
on the console, right? Hey, or on the PC. I can't even say that right. On the PC.
See?
That's where we need to see these, man, ported to.
You stepped in your own snare.
I know, right? Can't wait to get out of console.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the problem is, I think there's a huge divide between schools of RPG now, and JRPG you're not going to see on the PC for some reason, and I have no idea why.
Yeah, I think there was one that they put on the PC. I'm thinking, gosh, 3-4 years ago. But it's not coming to mind. And then apparently they're going to be porting Dark Souls possibly to PC. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping it'll catch on. Like, Monster Hunter's got their own stuff over. I know I'm talking about Monster Hunter a lot, but it just happens to be a great example. Monster Hunter Frontier is pretty popular over in Japan, and that's PC and Xbox exclusive.
Yeah,
over there, and it's kind of MMO-ish. Maybe.
I think also I'd like to see. And I don't even know how I want to see this, but I'd like to see some kind of change in leveling mechanics. Like, I grow weary of the sort of, level up, pick a skill, but I also grow weary of I level up and I get this amount of points in this category and it's already like sort of a path progression. Like, there has to be some sort of blending of the two or something. Some different way to accomplish that.
Like Path of Exile?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think that's a decent example. I mean, you get a little bit of each.
It's kind of closer. Yeah, it's probably not exactly what you mean, but
no, but it is a lot more segmented. I don't want to see just one rigid system because I think that it limits what you can do in as far as character progression. So
yeah,
Brandon, any thoughts? Were you happy with the progression in Mass Effect 3?
Oh, that's right. They have you like choose at the beginning, like your style, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I want to go back to whenever you was asking about my gripe or whatever about Mass Effect 3, they promised integration between the games, and I didn't see any.
Well, and maybe that's something. Maybe that's Maybe that's what you want to see out of an RPG in the next generation is true choice and true consequence. I mean, I think that's a pretty good point.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I wanted to get to the point to where like if I make a decision being Shepard and it could really take a twist to the point to where I'm having a totally different experience than hundreds of other people, to the point to where it's not like the same. I mean, I don't know if I'm making any sense here. It's like if I'm making like these crazy decisions, like I want it to be, more realistic, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I kind of think I know what you mean. Like, there's, as far as Mass Effect goes, there's a defined beginning point and a defined ending point, right?
Right.
And as the water flows downstream, I mean, I know this is completely weird, but as the water flows, if the dam gets blocked up somewhere, the water will reroute itself, and most of the time come back into, the mainstream.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's sort of the way that Mass Effect works, as to where, and this was one of my gripes, is that it doesn't really give you a different experience. It gives you the sort of false impression that it is tailoring the story to your play, and that's it.
Right. And maybe I'm asking too much, and maybe they haven't gotten there with that.
That's
yet.
Pretty big budget. Yeah, that would take.
Yeah. It's probably asking too much, because that it would probably cost a lot. Like, you probably end up paying $300 for the game,
just for one game.
Well, I mean, but if it's that true promise, I mean, would it be worth $300?
I pay for it.
Standalone games.
Well, okay, hold on. And you know what? I said that a little too quickly. You know what? Paying $300 for a game, that's on some what was that? What was that system that came out that had those expensive ass games?
3DO, I think, was it? 3DO was expensive, and the software was expensive.
Yeah.
What
was it a 3DO?
It wasn't exactly cheap.
No, it was a Neo Geo. Yeah. Yeah, where the games was like $500. It's crazy.
I've had a thought. I'd like to see more vehicles in RPGs.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't even think of that.
I really missed that. Was it the Mako in Mass Effect 1?
Yeah. I loved that. I did not like the Mako, but I liked the idea and the feeling behind the Mako.
I loved the exploration opportunity that it gave you. Yeah, obviously vehicles aren't going to work for every RPG, but horses, carriages,
maybe
anything.
Maybe not just vehicles, or just at least some changes to the pacing with different gameplay options and things like that.
Yeah,
it really wouldn't surprise me. And speaking to the cost of a game, it wouldn't surprise me if the next generation of games, the software goes up $10. I mean, because look at how well all these $100 and $150 collector's editions are selling. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
When all I want is an extra $10 with a steel book and a cloth map, and I'm done. That's it. Soundtrack, done.
I never purchased the collector's edition stuff.
Oh, I used to.
With the Halo helmets and shit. I've never did that. I mean, I kind of want to. I don't know why.
Yeah. Pretty much the same way. I mean, I got the Fallout 3 collector's edition, but that had some nostalgia for me, I think.
Yeah.
It was the only reason why I bought that one. That actually, the Borderlands one looks really good too.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Maybe I'm just into bobbleheads. No, what I'm really into is what I'm really into is when they have an item that you can pick up in the game that does something. You know what I mean? And I guess in this case they just happen to be bobbleheads in both cases.
Yeah.
So.
And lunchboxes.
And
lunchbox crates.
All right, boys. Well, we got a couple of tweets from OC Murphy's Law. He says, "Gents, with E3 just around the corner, do you think Sony or Microsoft fool all and announce a new console, or do they hold pat?"
Well, I know Nintendo will.
Yeah.
Probably not. Next year for sure. Definitely, because it's about that time. It's about that time for another console anyway.
No, it's been about that time for a long time, actually.
Yeah. So it's starting to run its course. You're starting to see the age of both 360 and PS3.
I tell you what, though, for their age, there's no shame for them.
No, it's not. And I mean, it's still like a lot of the games still looking good. Like you remember back in the day, like when you had the Super Nintendo and then the PlayStation came out, like that big of a difference between the two.
Yeah.
That's like a big jump, man. I'm trying to figure out if the next gen is going to be that big of a jump. I don't see that.
Well,
but then again, I don't know.
I think that that the next generation, what you're going to see I think the polygon faces increased a little bit, but I think you're going to see a lot better bit depth and higher res textures. You're going to see better lighting. You're going to see better shading. And I think you're going to see better particle systems and artificial intelligence. I don't think that, at least the first year or so of the new hardware, I don't think you're going to see too much difference. Yeah, it's going to look better, but I think it's going to be negligible.
I think that with the way that core technology has been developing, I think that it's going to be able to handle a lot more all at once.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the major thing that consoles of this generation will do. But it's hard to tell in terms of whether or not I think they're going to release, or at least talk about it, this year. It's definitely possible. If like we said, they're kind of behind the curve technically. If you look at Sony's release habits, they could definitely announce it this year. But like Casino was saying, next year is a definite. And it's also kind of a PlayStation, a Sony habit to wait until Nintendo's new console has run its course and people have gotten excited about it, and then they just come in and try to blow it out of the water. That was kind of what they did last year. I think that's probably what they're going to do again with this generation. So probably next year.
And then tell you that it's $1,000 and that's fine, because if you really want it, you'll get a second job.
They can never do that again. They can never do that shit again. They can never
screw that.
I know.
Man, I don't know if they'll be able to jack up the price of the console that expensive.
No.
They're too expensive now.
Exactly.
Well, believe me,
especially if you want multiple consoles. If they're going to do this whole thing with exclusivity, which I think is the major thing that should change in the coming console generations. All games should be available. Everyone goes out and buys the same disc, but puts it in a different machine for different reasons. Maybe the peripherals are better. If that makes sense, that's what I'm kind of hoping consoles will kind of lean towards, more of a PC model. But
so it's going to end up being like a DVD player. Doesn't matter what the...
Basically, yeah. It just matters on the player. Do you want it to be a Blu-ray? Do you want it to be... You know what I mean?
That would be super to buy like a 2-disc set like you get PS3 and 360, but with console licensing fees and shit, it's probably not a reality.
They've got a lot of dues to pay, exactly. But that's where I'd like to see it. That's where I'd like to see it go.
Dan, do they pull anything?
I don't imagine they're going to, but I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft let slip about something rather than it being a big reveal.
You don't think maybe there's a little teaser thing at the end of somebody's press conference?
Well, yeah,
probably.
But I expect to see that more from Microsoft than Sony.
Yeah.
Valve's bound to say something this year, right?
Steam box?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, it'll be there's no Steam box.
Well, I mean,
just kidding.
Do we all agree that it's that leading up to it's already Nintendo's show to lose?
Yeah, and I think they might have already lost it.
I don't know. Because the Wii U, they need to change the name of that shit. That is not a cool name.
Yeah, I know.
That is corny. That is corny.
It sounds like some kind of urinal, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
The Xbox 360, right? But I mean, eventually it just kind of falls into your everyday.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes lingo, and I agree with that. But I mean, I think that Nintendo has all the momentum, and it's up to them whether they nail it and keep that momentum going forward toward. I mean, obviously they won't be at Tokyo Game Show, but they'll probably do Nintendo World or whatever, and see what happens at Gamescom. So
I have not purchased a Nintendo console since the Super Nintendo. No. The Nintendo 64.
Are you planning on it?
I want to see what they're doing with this new thing,
But you are keeping an open mind as far as that goes?
Always. Like, I kept an open mind with the GameCube. I didn't like it.
Oh, I love my GameCube.
And I kept an open mind with the Wii. And I bought it and I gave it to my dad.
Yeah, I think there are some end of life gems to be had.
But don't get me wrong. I think they have some really cool games. Mario Kart is the shit, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. But
I can't help but think that maybe Nintendo saw this coming or something. Because, like I was saying, it's more about what the systems can handle all at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Casino was saying, I don't see that huge of a graphics jump this year. So maybe they're investing in the right areas.
There's that rumors out there that thing has 200 or 2 gigs of RAM.
Exactly.
And
what can handle all at once.
512 megs of that is dedicated to the operating system.
Yeah.
Or processes that deal directly with the operating system footprint.
Yeah.
So
that's a pretty big jump because the current consoles have 512.
Yeah,
right?
and the PS3 only has 256 of XDR, so it's faster memory, but there's less.
But there's less up.
It's less, but it's like that's a bit more.
But
well, I'm looking forward to maybe not so much the graphical fidelity increase that we're going to see, but the access times. So, you'll get your disc, you'll install it into the hard drive, and then there's going to be a significant reduction of load times.
Yeah.
Well, shit, they've been destroying load times entirely since, like, the Dreamcast, right? Like,
and
Soul Reaper and stuff. There was no load times in that.
With the SATA 3 interface now, it's like 6 gigabytes per second, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to see that in the consoles, and it's going to be, it's going to be fantastic.
Blu-ray for the 360, or are they going to go back to Toshiba?
I think it's a tough one for them, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of.
DVD. I think they should just go back to the HD DVD and just say. Fuck.
Well, that's not gonna happen because no one's got an HD DVD player apart from the poor few people that actually bought that peripheral for the 360. No movies are going to come out with it because they're all bought up the Sony license for Blu-ray. So it might be an issue for them to get a Blu-ray drive in a Microsoft machine. I'm not sure Sony would be too happy about that.
Well, I mean,
but then it's more money.
I think Microsoft would rather go digital or streaming. I think, wouldn't they? I mean, I know that's probably not going to be a reality at this time frame.
Is that going to work for them? Is that going to work for them, especially whenever they're going to be offering $99 Xbox?
Well, and see, that's the other thing. If that subsidization of a console works, you can damn well bet your pants that that's the way you're going to pay for your next Xbox.
Oh, hell no.
See, I don't know. Xbox has always been the one to play it safe, and say this is what people want, and that's what they got. You know what I mean? They haven't really done any like major leaps. So I don't know. They kind of seem to be the in between, and then their console sales kind of show it.
See, I don't mind if they stick with DVD. As long as when you install all the game discs, you don't have to keep swapping the DVD.
Yeah, that's the killer.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I really wouldn't be surprised to see.
It's not that bad.
No, and it's a pain in the ass, man. I mean, if you just kept disc 1 in, so you had to have disc 1 to play, then people wouldn't be copying them and sending them around because you still have to have that disc 1 to play the game, even though all 4 discs are on there.
Yeah.
That solves that problem immediately.
Man, I remember doing that on Metal Gear Solid on the original PlayStation. It didn't bother me one bit where I had to take, when I had to unplug the controller, put it on controller 2 to beat that dude.
The way I played Mass Effect 3, I was constantly swapping discs.
That was my shit right there, yeah.
When I played Mass Effect 3, maybe because of the path I chose, I was constantly swapping discs.
Yeah.
And that got to be a bit annoying.
Oh, okay. We'll see. I have Mass Effect 3 on PS3, so
yeah, I see.
Okay, so yeah.
It would.
Okay, well, I guess I see what you're talking about.
I'm going to tell you right now, it wouldn't surprise me to see all of your live arcade titles and things streamed.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. That
would piss me off.
Yeah, but that's a nice way to kind of get your foot in the door and start to establish yourself.
Yeah, but I've got my 60 gig a month limit for my ISP, and I'd only be able to play them after midnight when it's not included in my limit. That's when I play PC games.
Maybe your town should join the 90s. I don't know. Maybe that's something that you can petition for. I don't know.
I live in this area of outstanding natural beauty and scientific interest, so they're not going to dig it up to put fiber optic cabling in, which is a bit of a shame.
Sounds boring.
Yeah.
Still, maybe with like 4G, that over here, that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's like 25
like
up and down.
Hell, I remember seeing a video on someone that said that everyone everywhere is going to have access to the new consoles in the next generation. She predicted that no matter where you were, you could just be online.
Yeah.
Through whatever.
Sounds like my cell phone.
Like a mixture of 4G and satellites and phone cables and whatever. You know what I mean? It's they made that sound pretty cool.
Well, so let me ask you this: do Sony and Microsoft, and I guess just a one-word answer, either of them have a teaser at the end of the press conference, and who will do it? One, the other, or both? Dan.
Yes, Microsoft.
Okay. Scott.
Yes, definitely Microsoft. Maybe PlayStation. Yeah.
Okay.
for Sony.
Brandon?
Yes, Microsoft, definitely. High possibility of a PS3.
Yeah, I'm thinking they'll probably pick a developer that they've been working with behind the scenes or something that's gonna have a bunch of stuff ready for what they're gonna release on the new console, and they'll probably be able to showcase that. If not this year, then definitely next.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to approach it.
I think it's and I know this is crazy. I think Sony's going to show something and Microsoft isn't. I think Sony is going to wrap up their press conference with one super huge game, and at the end, like maybe 30 seconds of some kind of crazy super huge game, and it's going to say PS4 at the end, and that'll be the end of the press conference.
What game?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Last Guardian. I don't know.
They kind of did that with Gears of War with the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
That's what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I think.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think it kind of depends on where they're at right now. Like, do they really want to draw attention to themselves right now? Are they still kind of ashamed by the stuff that's been happening to them?
Can Sony get out of the gate late again?
Well, okay,
they can't afford to.
Too, yeah. So that's
I don't know. That's just kind of the way I'm seeing it, because
it's so damn up in the air. But yeah, I think that there's a very good chance that they'll do something. I mean.
All right, well, let's finish this off. He says, also, with many big RPGs hitting early this year, is there anything on your radar for the second half in the realm of an RPG game? Brandon, anything? Borderlands, maybe? Something like that?
You know what? I played Borderlands. I couldn't get into it, but I will try again. I'm in a Zelda type of mood, man.
Yeah, well,
but I want it to be. I don't want it to look cartoony. I want that shit to look real.
Well, then maybe
I want something.
Darksiders 2?
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, the first one had my first child.
That's
my firstborn. Ooh, it was so good. I loved it.
I'm actually going to play that this summer. I'm going to play through the first Darksiders. I'm playing it.
Still haven't played the first one, you bastard.
I'm waiting on a Steam sale. Is kind of what I'm waiting for.
Huh.
Yeah. So, Scott, what do you think?
Well, the only two major games that I have an interest in, or that I'm looking forward to recently, is, like you said, Darksiders 2. That's definitely promising. And the other promising one, it probably isn't going to be very RPG-ish. It could be they were kind of leaning that genre that way. It is kind of just its own genre, though. Would be the reimagining of Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. With Emo Dante.
I'd like to see that one. Emo Dante. Yeah, I mean, his character doesn't really act emo, it seems like, but yeah, that's just the style right now. Everyone looks like that.
Well, after playing Enslaved, I'm really interested in that, and I was never really interested in Devil May Cry before.
Yeah, the remake looks really promising.
That was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it.
There's actually a video of it.
Yeah, Enslaved was fantastic. It was so damn charming.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. What a great game.
Well, you know what? I just thought of one, Steve.
Okay.
You know, because I'm a big Uncharted head. I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see this. You know, to see the world of Uncharted do like a little MMO or something, maybe.
Uncharted 9, Journey into Hell.
Or Uncharted 9, Another Lost City. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm anxious to see if Sony's done with Uncharted or not, like if they're done with that property or not, because I'm going to tell you right now, my front runner for Game of Show at E3 has to be The Last of Us. Man.
Oh, that shit looks. Yikes. Oh, that shit looks magically delicious.
I mean, if it had some RPG, I'd be discussing it right now. But for me, and I don't know, are we all still thinking about Guild Wars 2?
Elder Scrolls 17, Journey into... Oh, no.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
Are we still thinking Guild Wars 2? All of us?
I am.
Okay.
Definitely.
You are.
That postpone's got me acting funny about that game, man. I don't know what they're doing.
I played it nearly a year ago, and it was great then. It can only be better now, sure.
Yeah.
I hope. I'm not extremely impressed with the support that they've given for not paying a monthly fee, so I don't know if it's something that...
Yeah.
I mean, you of all should be the most jaded, Steve.
I am, but God, everything I see of it looks great.
That's their job, though.
I know,
to make it feel epic, so you'll buy it.
I wish they had done their job and gotten my shit back.
Shit, man.
But
Same old Lenny with my shit out there.
I don't. Mother goddamn Lenny, gonna get my shit out there, motherfuckers. So, did you ever play Kingpin? Remember Kingpin on the old the old PC game Kingpin, where you it was like the crowbar before Half-Life.
No.
The first-person shooter. There was this bum. It was like the most realistic bum anybody's ever played. And you walk up to him, and he was always drunk. He was like, "Man, I'm gonna catch that motherfucking Lenny, and I'm gonna catch him in that bar, man. I'm gonna get my motherfucking watch, and he's gonna be dead in a son bitch." You know. And then it was always like, "Mother goddamn Lenny gonna get my shit out there, motherfuckers." You know. It was great. I think it's on Good Old Games too. If you want to check it out, you could probably get it for next to nothing. Kingpin's fucking great.
I didn't even know what it was from. I just know we say it all the time because it sounds awesome. It sounds awesome.
All right. Back to the matter at hand.
I've never heard of this before.
Oh, you got to check it out. You can probably even look it up on YouTube. It's pretty funny. For me, I got to say, Guild Wars 2 Last Story, which it seems to have been pushed back to the 10th of July now. There's that. Possibly Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance for the 3DS, the 3D Kingdom Hearts game. And I was also thinking about the Square Enix Dungeon Crawler, and of course Dungeon Crawler, big surprise, Heroes of Ruin for the 3DS. So,
What about Pokemon Black version 2?
Oh, I love Pokemon, bitch, and
yeah, motherfucker, I like Pokemon and what?
Yeah, I love Duke.
I actually have to say that I'm kind of stumped when it comes to the next Castlevania too. I don't know what they're gonna do. So maybe that'll be more RPG.
I guess there's a rumor now of a 3DS Castlevania and a Lords of Shadow 2. So there is more.
So they're going with the obvious route.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Yeah, supposedly. So, but yeah, Dan, anything?
Borderlands 2, obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really looking forward to Borderlands 2. Actually, the more I've started thinking about it, the more I'm. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the soundtrack.
More guns.
There is actually, I think.
And Guild Wars 2
Yeah.
as well. But Path of Exile is a dungeon crawly RPG.
Oh,
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, yummy. All right, boys. Well, let's clean this up and get out of here. Shout outs, Brandon, Pimp Your Show, etc.
Oh yeah. Come on down to Two Brothers, Two Mics Radio. I'm one half of it. My brother from another mother, LB. We both do a show. Man, we just have a good time, man, on that. Man. We talk about everything on there. You know, we have not talked about video games on there, but LB is not really a gamer like I am. So I guess whenever I do a show on my show, I will have to invite y'all on there.
Yeah.
Yes, we can chop it up.
I'm telling you, the last few have been pretty funny with the thirsty dude and
my stalker.
Yeah, your stalker.
My stalker. I have a male stalker. Well, not anymore. Not anymore because I've changed jobs. So yeah.
And your conscience. So, that was the other one.
And my conscience.
Oh God.
So if y'all want to check that out. You know, check us out. We're on Podomatic, Stitcher. We're on iTunes. We're on a lot of different platforms. I don't know. So yeah, check us out.
And LB is what is he? LB the Gent on Twitter. I think.
LB the Gent on Twitter.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's not anything to do with Long Beach clothing, is he?
No. He's
damn.
Oh damn.
Yeah, with the LBC. No.
Oh, Scott.
Well, first of all, I guess I would like to give a shout out to Miss Super Starless, our very own. It was her birthday here just a few days ago, so
happy birthday.
Yeah, want to make sure she got mentioned on this week's show. And everybody in TeamSpeak, it's been great. There's been more and more people showing up playing all kinds of different games, everything from League of Legends and Diablo 3 to Terra and even some Monster Hunter in there. So thanks for coming by, guys. I'm glad that we can provide a place for you guys to hang out.
More people.
More people.
How many people can it handle?
More games. Oh crap. No, I think 30 is the limit right now, but that can be adjusted.
Sweet.
I think. I might have to start paying money. I think if I want to adjust. But yeah, it's 30. So yeah.
Well, if you're the 31st member, fuck you. Sorry about your luck. You ain't paying any money.
I'll tell you what, there'll be a prize. If you're the 31st registered member on the TeamSpeak, you get to pay for a month. You get to pay for the first month.
You get a barely working copy of Monster Hunter Tri for the Wii.
Yeah. For the PC. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God.
No multiplayer. Yeah, so just, a shout out to the regulars there too. Phil, Joe, Ash, Garwin, Jordan. There's a whole bunch of people in there. So if I missed you, sorry.
Dan.
Super Starless. Happy birthday to you. And yeah, all right. Sorry, I thought that was Scott coughing.
No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, Iron Hammers. Good to be gaming with him again. And Common Troll.
Yeah.
Hello. That's about it. Sweet and short.
Awesome. Thank you to the voicemailer and the tweeter for tonight. Appreciate the input. Obviously, VGHub.net, there's a wealth of great gaming content at VGHub.net. And guess who's a part of VGHub now?
Oh.
Nintendo Oki.
Yay!
Hey! Yeah, so Tony and Shelby are part of VGHub now. And actually, Tony told me the other day that I guess he has been in contact with the coordinator of the Children's Hospital there, because he actually works for the health system there in Oklahoma. Okay. And they contacted him to do a lot of the promotional stuff for Extra Life coming up. So
good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So I think I'm gonna get in touch with Amanda down here in Pittsburgh and try to do some stuff too, see what we can come up with. But
tell him to upgrade me to premium.
Yeah. For a t-shirt.
I don't even know what it does, but I'll take it.
Free t-shirt.
Yep, that's it.
All right.
So I can pimp it all over the place.
Yeah.
Also, Logic Resumed, who subscribed to the blog. D for Lanka, subscribe to us on YouTube. And Veronica Franco likes the Gamesmen on Facebook. You should too. So, also, Namtra Yurik, happy birthday. And Super Starless, happy birthday. Mm-hmm. So, awesome. And it was nice to see Namtra Yurik around the TeamSpeak.
Yeah, the old water cooler, man. He used to be a regular.
Yeah. So
that's good
Diablo
stuff.
brought him back. All right, Web.
And Guild Wars will keep him there,
right? That's right. All right, Web for the week to come. Casino 3-1.
PSN ID is Casino 72. I couldn't do 3-1 because some motherfucker took it.
You sure you weren't like Scott and you took it before and you didn't realize you did?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, and that's and that's Casino with a K. My Xbox, I haven't been on there since 1972, but when I do decide to log back in and say what's up to all my peoples, my gamer tag is bpool, because my last name is Pool. So you just put the letter B, as in boy, and then Pool, Poole. Real simple.
I can't believe you got that and you didn't get Casino 31. How the hell does that happen?
No. You know what? It's funny you said that, because everybody says that. And I don't know, because I bought my Xbox first before I bought my PS3.
Yeah.
I bought it 500 years ago.
Got one of those DeLorean Xboxes.
Yeah, exactly, and it talks to it. Night Rider status. What else?
Twitter, yeah.
What else? Twitter, Casino 31.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Scott.
Just the usual. Rabid _Scotsman on Steam, which, obviously I'm always there. Twitter, I'm always checking that. That's the same, at Rabid _Scotsman. TeamSpeak, if I'm awake, I'm there. I mean, that's basically how that works.
Even if you're not awake, you're there.
Yeah, basically.
Sometimes there is a sleeping channel there. There's an I'll leave that on sometimes. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to be doing much this week. Other than there, I mean, I could give you my Wii friend code if it wasn't ridiculous. But yeah, if you want to play some Monster Hunter or something, you can get in touch with me on Twitter.
Yeah,
that'll work.
Beautiful. Dan.
Yeah, it's simple. Put in Hardlydan, and if I don't show up, I'm not on it.
I like it. I like
so,
it.
yeah, Hardlydan on everything.
Sweet.
Just have a look. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, JSSLIFELIKE. That's PSN, that's Xbox Live, that's Steam, that's Skype, that's Twitter, that's God knows what else. I mean, I'm sure it's
Xfire Gaming since 1942.
Yeah, it is Xfire too. It's Xfire, PS3trophies.org. I mean, do we have to get granular?
Lots of technology.
Technology.
Guys, don't forget to give us some iTunes reviews. We love them. We'll read them out. Good, bad, indifferent. We don't care. Just give us a review.
Yeah, I haven't checked the U.S. store, so I'm expecting a U.S. review or two. So we had all those ones from the U.K. The last time, so we're going to check them the next show. I expect to see one U.S. one.
UK, guys, so come on.
Yeah.
You can get us on Facebook. We're on Stitcher. Really important, actually. There's still a few months to go, obviously, but we're participating in Extra Life again this year. You can sponsor us by going to extra-life.org/team/VG Hub Team 2012.
Yeah. And also, if you can participate, all that much better.
Yeah.
So join the team. We got about 9 or 10 people now?
Yeah, we'd rather have you raising money for a good cause than actually donating it. But if you don't want to play, just give us your money.
That's going to be rough this year, boy. I tell you what.
It's his best Bobby Kotick impression.
I need to get me a money hat.
Put that on.
Yeah. We want more voicemails. We had one this week. That's not enough. We need more. Call the RPG hotline at 412-267-RPG1.
I love voicemails. I love them.
I love them too.
Yeah, we can stop for a bit and listen. It's good. If you want to get in contact with us other than the hotline, you can email us at thegamesmanrpg@gmail.com, and our Twitter account is @thegamesmanrpg. You can also listen to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thegamesmanrpg.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I think that'll about do it. So thank you guys. I had a good time with the interaction. Fun show. We're going to do it all again in probably about 14 days. So on behalf of Mr. Rabid Scotsman, on behalf of Hardlydan, on behalf of Casino 31, I am Lyfeliek. We are the Gamesmen. And until next time, we ask,
what role will you play?
I almost didn't get up. I almost just sent you another text that said, on second thought, fuck you.
On second thought?
I woke up wrapped in flannel sheets and the room was all warm, man, and the fan was in the window blowing that
flannel sheets?
Blowing that rain smell in, dude. And I was I've got to go back to sleep.
Yeah, it's hard to unstick your nuts at that point, man. That's rough, boy.
Okay, my video card sucks ass, and it says my CPU upgrade suggestion.
PU.
Yes. My CPU is PU, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Take the C out, cause damn.
Oh shit.
This ain't okay. Yeah. So you know what? Fuck y'all that can run Diablo 3, and I can't.
Man.
Wow.
That sounded.
That's it. That's them tacos coming back up, man. God damn.
Well, that right there was rather juicy, if I'd say so myself.
Oh man, mixed with tapioca.
That shit sounds like that stinks. know what? You know, the most griping motherfuckers on earth are gamers.
Well, that and the most griping motherfuckers are the ones that ain't spending any money or something either.
Yeah.
That's another thing that kills me. You'll sit there like somebody pirating all the games is like, man, this is fucked up. You know, like, why you mad? You got it for free. You know, like
still gonna complain about it, right?
Yeah, I know. Like, why are you gonna be mad when I should be mad because I spent $60 on it?
I don't know. There's been one or two games where I was like, damn, I got this for free. Can I get my money back? It was horrible. Scott, we were talking about this, about the voicemail, how it transcripts the voicemails. Google Voice does. It says it couldn't.
Well, here's what it says here,
Shitty.
and when you actually like pull it up on the web, hey, Steve and Company, and again, this is, period. I was calling to ask some questions and make a statement into voicemail display the course like baby. I really like it, not leaving till summer games.
Wait, what? Where is this shit?
That's good. If you're logged in,
with it or what?
If you're logged in, you should be able to see this. It says, so my question is, Torchlight II or Diablo 3, hoping that somebody can. If you haven't given you the bike and was leading take one might be the other special want to hear your thoughts on it and apparently, period. The Hi Joe Retribution was pushed into 2013. Khalid at 3D, I think I just get of movies that are coming up on my time. What your thoughts on that? The cell phone 3D would like to see what kind of, period. And then something like this, he added to the barbecue next generation. I thought I would on it. Oh, I just about the have a great, so I'll be looking forward to, or I'll look forward to hearing.
Yeah, the barbecue next generation.
Google Translation is not the greatest.
If not fully satisfied with the podcast, please return any portions for a full refund.
The Gamesmen, now with 96.5 more wub wub.